Hello. Right, this is Invisible Ink, Clay Software's stealth, tactical espionage game that isn't Metal Gear Solid at all. Promise. Right, I've had a few attempts at recording this and they keep fucking up, so I'm gonna go ahead and try one last time. So when you select a campaign, you can either select from the standard or the advanced options. There's beginner, experienced, expert, as you can see, and then there's some extra modes below which are all tweaked versions of the base campaign. The campaign is always exactly the same, though you can tweak the length to make it shorter or longer or endless. But when you select a campaign, the best part is that you can click on show settings, which shows you what the exact settings are to make it at that difficulty level. One of the best ones here is the auto increment alarm. This kind of dictates the entire pace of the game. Without it, you could take every level at the most leisurely pace you wanted to and have no fear of any kind of reprisal or reprieve. Don't even know if that's the right word. However, you could tackle it with no issue. You could go at a snail's pace. You could think around every encounter for ages and ages. With it on, the game dictates the pace for you. You have a limited amount of turns. By the time you hit 30 turns into the game, the alarm's going to be at max level and things are going to get really hard for you because it's just going to keep getting worse from there. There are loads of other options that you can change further down. You can do all sorts. You can increase your starting money, you can lower your starting money, you can change the demon software that's installed in the levels to make it more or less. You can make guards instantly removed from the game when you knock them out. It's really cool. You can change all sorts of things about it. It's why people are still playing it. It's like a roguelike where you define your own parameters, which is cool because mostly roguelikes just throw you in and they don't give a shit about what you want to do, which is cool because that's what rogues do. But being able to change all these settings to have that much involvement with the generation of the game is a really cool point. You can make your own challenges. It's like a cooler version of what they initially tried to do with XCOM Enemy Within, where they added all the little extra buffs and nerfs that you could put on yourself when you start a campaign. So anyway, I'll skip this. This is the loadout screen. I'm just going to go with the two basic agents because I know them the best. They don't need any kind of fancy strategy to work. The other agents like Shalem and Nika, they are melee specialists. Banks is a hacker, Prism's an anarchist, Sharp's some kind of killer, Dr. Zoo is just a jerk, he puts traps on doors, it's hilarious. These two I thought I'd unlocked last time, but something's gone wrong and they're now no longer unlocked, so that's that. And you only really start with Decker and Internationale anyway. You unlock the other ones as you gain more experience for getting further into the game. Where every time you fail, you take your score and you convert it into experience. So it's a little bit like a more modern rogue in that sense, in that you're not always going to start from the exact same basis. And you also get extra programs for your AI. I'm going to stick with Power Drip, but I'm going to go with Parasite, which is one you unlock later. So Decker has some cybernetic enhancements, and so does Internationale. He also has a modded cloaking rig. They both have neuro disruptors. I cannot speak now. On the first two attempts I was fine, but it's been so long now I can't. Yeah, and Decker's slightly faster than Internationale, but Internationale has hacking. The reason I love taking Internationale is that she has the wireless emitter which lets us see things through walls, which is just brilliant because it basically helps you plan your approach to the level because you can see where objects are and you can start moving towards them easier. So let's go. This is the blurb that I believe replaced the cinematic on earlier versions of the game. Just gives you a bit of flavour as to what's actually happening. I'm going to skip all the dialogue, by the way.
Operator, are you there?
Because I've tried to do this 3 times, as I say, and I've heard it all loads. Right, so you have 72 hours, 500 credits, and my net worth is 4,900, that's what you start at. I think you can improve this slightly by starting off with different agents. I've never really double checked. At the start of every game we'll always have you taking on an executive terminal, usually for FTM, and it'll always be 12 hours away. You have 72 hours so you can squeeze a handful of missions in before you take on the final mission. And there's a story reason why it's only 72 hours, but I will obviously leave that for when you play. And what this icon means is that when I hack this terminal I will get a site list which will show me where assets owned by this corporation and other corporations are, and I can then choose to tackle them.
Executives are notoriously slack when it comes to network security.
Yes, they are.
B-log acquired. Ready for transport.
Bad news, operator. They caught us completely by surprise, so we...
Right, so my objectives are to locate the executive terminals and then to exit the building. That's always... The last one is always the objective, what you always need to get out. Of course, that's why it's a heist game. So, you have a certain amount of AP with each character. Decker has 9, Internationale has 8. I clicked on Internationale there, and what it did is it revealed every hackable object within a certain radius of her. So this is a nanofabricator which I can store, this is an offline camera, this is a console. If I hijack a console within Internationale I get extra power. Because I've got wireless hacking I can do it with distance between us, which is very nice. Decker would have to walk up to it to do it, which is not very helpful. Power goes here, and it lets me use programs in incognito, which I access by pressing space or clicking her, which brings up this kind of digital version of the world. Don't need that just yet though. I'll take the power and I'll move forward. See, super useful. I'll leave this for later because I will be wasting some of it if I grab it now. Right. When you reach your door you can either open it or peek through it. If you peek through it you get a vision cone that goes outwards like this, and it will show you what's in the room. Pretty standard stuff. I'm not going to risk that. So what happens is when you hack, I've only got one program, I've got Parasite, it costs me 1 at the start of every turn for every item that it's currently hacking. I'm going to hack these 2 programs and it will cost me 2 power to get through. You could call that lucky or you could call it great planning. It's definitely not the latter. Right, so the security level raises 1 per turn. Every 5 increments a new security measure comes online, from cameras being rebooted to systems shutting down to demons being installed to extra guards appearing. They're all pretty much bad news. I'm not going to make it through there. So instead I'm going to hide there. So that is a store that I've just found here, the nanofabricator. I am actually going to buy one of these lock decoders because they're incredibly useful early on. I'm going to keep on scouting with Internationale. So I'll bring up the tactical overlay. It shows you what you can hide behind, where you can go, and if I rotate it, squares that are being watched. It's not very helpful because he's facing a wall, but you get the gist. that up. That's why you always peek through a door. Although that location counts as hidden. Yeah, so I'll risk that. That is the safe beautifully helping us not get spotted. That room is going to be really difficult to get into because of the guard room, but there we go. Got to close the door. That guy might find it suspicious. Right, fingers crossed. Red doors are the reason that I took the security passcode. These are safes, they're normal. This is a console database. It will show me where every console on the level is, which will give me a great rough plan of what the level actually looks like.
Alarm level 1. Additional cameras activated. Surveillance level increased.
Haha. So it's not a huge level.
Hey, what was that?
Huh. Made a mistake, which seems to be what happens on these runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lure him over by opening the door, and I've set Decker to stun him as he walks past. I could have set Decker to go invisible. But I've got nowhere really to run, so I'm going to do it this way instead. Oh. And my computer is frozen.
Hey, did you see that?
That was strange. Sorry about that. Computer decided it didn't like me opening the door. Right, anyway.
Hey, intruder!
Ah. I can KO him. KO? KO him. steal the junk. Now I've got a key card. I no longer need the decoder. But I'll stick it on this door just in case.
Alarm level 2. Fire levels increased. Data security enhanced.
So the weapons have a 3-turn cooldown, so they have 1 turn left now. And the guards will both be up in 2 turns. The reason it's staggered is because Decker had this guy pinned for a turn, which is a nice little mechanic that forces you to actually think about where you're leaving bodies. It's a stealth game, so you can drag the bodies with you, but it really slows you down as you'd assume. Wow. So this room is going to be a challenge. I will need to hack this power supply. I'll hack the safe because I can. That power supply should be linked to this laser grid. This guard, I will observe him. He probably doesn't move. No, he's stationary, so he's going to be a pain in the ass. Oh, typical. Excellent news. This is a dead end. So that means that my objective and my exit are both through this door, which is not the greatest situation to be in. But we'll roll with it. I have little other choice.
What happened? Investigating area.
An EMP pack. I've never had that before. Disables all mainframe devices and drones in a range of 3 tiles. I'll take it because it's cool and new. Now I'm going to use Decker's fancy tools. He's going to go invisible.
Did you see that?
This is a fantastically set out level, because there's just so many bloody doors. And they're all randomly generated as well, which is brilliant.
Investigating area. Looking around.
Alright. So I have enough to peek. And get behind that pillar.
checking things out.
Jesus, that was lucky.
Nothing.
Alarm level 3. Additional guard patrols. Evasion recommended.
They're going to set up an ambush because I'm worried that one of these two guys is going to stumble straight into her. And there's our exit. This is going to be terrible. I'm going to get spotted by this guy probably as he comes into this room.
What? Looking around.
Yeah, thought so.
Hey, intruder!
Oh, don't know what the camera was doing there. So unfortunately, the first recording I made of this was the one where I got the furthest and was the most successful. Every recording after that has resulted in me getting insta-KO'd.
Damn it, operator. Be more careful with our assets.
But I'm going to use the rewind function
Target down.
to stop that from happening. It's a bit of a gimmick, but it's nice because some decisions in this game rest on absolute hair triggers. Although, if I'm honest, I'm not sure if there is any way out of this. Probably my best bet. No, you know what?
Did you see that?
I know what my best bet is, and I'm gonna have to rewind again to get it to work. Let's see.
Stop! We're checking things out. Stop! What's that?
Right, so I have to rewind again.
Did you see that?
It's kind of nice that it forces you to play these like cat and mouse decisions.
Investigating area. Drag the body in here. I might have still fucked this up. Right, so we know where our executive terminals are. Oh, thank God for that. That was lucky. So now we're just going to gun it.
You found the executive terminal. Hack it, and we can get out of here.
What's also kind of nice is this game has like a really nice ebb and flow to it. The first handful of missions are very difficult. The last mission is very difficult. The middle ones can go either way. You can either be really strong or really underpowered, depending on how well you handle the various threats that the game throws at you, and how lucky you are with what it spawns, what items you can get as a roguelite. Some runs you might just be underpowered. That's how roguelites work. If you're fit to deal with that, then you probably enjoy it a lot.
You've got it. Great. When you activated that terminal, it sent out an automated message to change up the guard duty. Be prepared for new patrol patterns.
Right, that means they're all going to come searching for me. That's what she means by new guard patterns or new patrol patterns. It's a euphemism for the fact that they're going to hunt me down. And Decker now has 1 less AP because he's over encumbered. I'm going to take any risks.
Alarm level 4. Additional guard patrols. Evasion recommended.
Could have been worse. This could go really bad, so...
Investigating area.
Oh, thank God for that. Luckily, if they're knocked out, from memory, they tend to run in the direction they were knocked out from, so you can actually use that to abuse the AI. I say abuse the AI, that's not really fair, is it? It's a definite choice they've made making the game. I'll cloak him as well, just in case.
Investigating area.
Investigating area.
Perfect. However, I am 1 short with both of my characters. However, there is an option to sprint. It gives you 3 extra action points if you're not encumbered. Right. We're going to do a bit of inventory driggling. I'm going to drop the med gel because I do not need it. And then I'm going to swap the site list onto Internationale. Decker loses it, so he can't do it. Take the sprint off. Fair enough, can't do it this turn. If I'd have used the foresight to count how many tiles I had left to the exit. No, now I've just dropped a med gel as well. Oh well. But what I could have done is swap the items prior to that and then sprinted, because I wouldn't have taken the negative blow. It's a smart design choice, I think, that they've made, but still, I'm going to ready to ambush this sucker if he comes through.
We're investigating the scene.
He might well just stand at the wall. No. Beautiful.
Investigating. Nothing.
So that is the pin mechanic as well. Like when you knock someone out, they will get back up in 3 turns or 2 turns or 1 turn, depending on what your item does and what strength the soldier is. If you've pinned them, then they cannot get up that turn, even if they're on 1, because the pin mechanic stops that. It means that you can have someone pin down a very crucial guard while someone else explores for a way out, and you can also drag people around, but it takes a lot of stamina, so it's usually best to wait until you've got some kind of strength bonus. But that's me to the exit, and then you just hit exit level, and you're done.
That executive had a very interesting list of contacts. I'm sure they won't miss it.
So this is a screen where you get to upgrade stuff. You don't start off with a lot of money, but I already know what I'm going to do because I've played with these guys before and it's an obvious route. You upgrade Decker's strength, so you already get the speed bonus at the start, which means you can carry an extra item anyway. I always stick the mental gel in storage because I like to be an optimist and think that I won't get murdered. And then I put 500 into speed for Internationale, because having them be able to move the same distance is very helpful because it helps with strategy, planning where you're going to move. Getting adjacent to the same side of a door or a gap at the same time is crucial.
I've re-established contact with Monster.
Right, and that's what happens when you do a site list. You get a selection of different objectives. This is a financial suite. That means there will be a CEO there or a financial officer, and he'll have a key card which will let me open a vault in a different level, such as this level, which is a vault in Perth, of all places, and that will have lots of good items in it, but it'll also have a secondary locked down floor that I won't be able to get into. Not floor, sorry, but a secondary locked down vault which I won't be able to get into without the key code from this level, which is cool. This is another executive terminal, and this is a cybernetics lab which lets me enhance my guys. In total that's 5, 6, 11 hours, 18 hours, 30 hours in total, and you have this time limit, so 60 hours, so I could get all of these done. And if I carry on playing and if anyone gives a shit and I carry on recording, what I'll probably do is hit up the terminals, then the labs, then the suites, and the vaults, and to be honest that'll probably take a couple of extra hours because of the distance involved, but I should have enough to do at least 1 or 2 missions before the final push, if I get that far. But yeah, so that's Invisible Ink. I hope it helped any of you guys out who wanted a quick look at it, and I hope the volume level's alright and my voice wasn't too annoying. I'm sorry for getting words wrong and slurring. This microphone makes S's really percussive, so sorry about that as well. But yeah, there you go. Enjoy, guys.